I am Connor and I'm an independent artist. My work has been featured at the Mao Gallery in London, and I am currently developing concepts for picture books that I hope to publish in the future. Obviously, you can tell I have a wee bit of a disability. The glasses give it away. Despite my disabilities, I went through school in a similar way to most of you guys. I did mainstream primary and secondary school. When I started at Kemnay, I took part in all the subjects. The good thing about doing all that is that it allows you to test the waters relatively risk-free. So when it came to selecting my subjects for national fights, I knew what worked for me. Music, homemade and woodwork went for me. I have no rhythm or coordination, and these hands should not be near sharp objects. I like to be creative and knowing how stuff works, but I only have very specific physical skills. Thus I went down the route of physics, business and graphic communication. My best subject was actually graphic communication. I struggled physically with the technical drawing, and the 3D software was a bit too fiddly, but I loved the creative process in graphic design. So, when it came to getting some work experience, the team at Kemnay were great in helping me find a placement and ensuring that my needs were met. So I went to Stats Group as an assistant graphic designer. I really enjoyed it, and I am still on good terms with the manager. I did have extra time and the scribe for all of my exams because of my needs. I highly recommend getting whatever support you can get. Because support for learning team are very helpful. There's no point in straining yourself to fit in the learning mold. This was the basis for my dissertation. I didn't really have the time and physical energy to write down 8,000 words of bachelor level critical evaluation on top of my full timetable. I spent years speaking with lecturers trying to figure out an alternative, but it was a new idea, so they couldn't give me an answer. I had to come up with a new format for a dissertation and pray that they accept it. School and exams are tough for everybody, so use the extra time or readers or software for the classroom, because there is no reason you should be disadvantaged. There is always a workaround. I knew I wanted to do further education. I figured because of my wheelchair I would need to further prove my ability. I became a prefect and was then promoted as a cube head boy. These extracurriculars were very fulfilling and gave me more credibility when applying to college and universities. In S6 I set up a whole month of fundraising for my riding for the disabled group. I have been attending since I was 6. I managed to bring the entire school together and we raised over £1,300 for Gordon Riding for the Disabled Association. When it came to applying to colleges and university, even though I did well in exams, I had a decent portfolio and knew all the right things to say. The interviewer at college just wouldn't give me the time of day. He barely looked at my portfolio. He talked over me. He told me he thought I couldn't do the course. He was just disrespectful. But I decided to not let them get me down. I left the building laughing in disbelief and went back to school the next day to tell my graphics teacher, who reassured me my portfolio was strong. I didn't write off everything he said because he was ignorant. I had my interview for Robert Gordon University a few weeks after. So I spent the time making my portfolio as airtight as possible and making it crystal clear that I knew what I was talking about to ensure it didn't happen again. I think the interview went pretty well because come August I got accepted into graduate school of art at RGU. I've spent 4 years at Praise, which really allowed me to find myself and what sort of artist I am. My course was called Communication Design, and much like at Kemnay, the first 2 years you get to experiment with a lot of different mediums, such as videography, illustration, app interfaces, and magazine layouts. I like thinking about how people interact with designs. What's the best way for me to use something? And I like playing video games. So I started to gravitate towards user interface app design. After a lot of research, I definitely had the ideas of projects and how to make them be accessible, but I was struggling to find my own visual style. I was working through my drawing module, and my lecturers kept praising my light drawings and sketches of my ideas. I was seeing the digital design as a more typical option. My lecturer eventually convinced me to hold an exhibition of my drawings in the foyer of Grace. I created a series of massive A0 drawings of the most impactful people in my life because they say draw what you care about. This included family, friends, carers, even staff from Kemnay Academy. The exhibition was very successful. I had work bought by the RGU Heritage Collection, and I was the first person from communication design to hold a solo exhibition in Grace. This exhibition gave me the confidence to pursue freelance art as a career path. In my honours year, I was also working on a passion project. I was developing a pitch for an app for physically disabled people to find accessible workplaces. Thanks. This project was on and off for 2 years. It took a while for me to understand the scope of the project, but by the end I am really proud of it. I just need to repackage it in my unique art style to get more interest from developers or investors. Or find me at concreates.art or email contact at concreates.art if interested. I needed to get this said somehow. At our degree show, I showcased the pitch for my artwork. I received the first class honours, as well as 4 awards, including a special commendation for my dissertation, which was created for what I did. The award has continued since then, and the acceptance of alternative dissertations at Grace has increased to the point where I delivered a mini lecture to this year's honours students to explain how I went about doing an alternative dissertation. Praise and everything, but I will always be proud of that first class, because there is a lot of doubt in my story in the sense that I am not meant to be doing this career. Some people call me a trailblazer. I like to think of it more like kicking down the locked door, just like the library door in my 5th visa.
He did.
I find myself being the first wheelchair guy on the scene, so I need to get through a lot to get my needs met. It can be frustrating, but I am glad to be considered a trailblazer of sorts. I think it is important that I do this because it leaves the door open for the people that come after me. Disability or not, it's just about being more open-minded and accepting of when something needs to be done a bit different. Since graduating, I have in my artwork featured at the Now Gallery, London, in a national exhibition down the road from Buckingham Palace. I collaborated with professors at Dundee University in a research publication about alternate communication. I put on an exhibition with my undergraduates. Next month I'm down south of London to showcase my drawing techniques in the Draw Performing Festival. I'm 24 next month. Life is mental, but I believe I am here to draw and do some good. And I'm pretty happy, which is all you need, really. Try to do what you love and you will find success.
Yeah. Good.
Thank you for having me. Have a great night. If you like what you see, I do commissions. And that's a very special shout out to Mr. Miller and Mr. Taylor PSAs and all the support for the team. Cheers.
Yeah.